The sound of swords clashing gave me chills, sparks were flying literally, and my heart was racing with every swing. The fencers moved like ninjas, every hit was sharp, and every dodge was smooth. Oh, how I wish I could move like that. Unfortunately, I was built different. I'd been trying to pass the fencing team trials for a while now, but my coordination had other plans. I would over-air and smack my face, just trip. With my practice sword after the match, I suddenly remembered that I dropped my ID earlier. Near the back lot, completely distracted, I headed there. While replaying every flawless fencing move in my head, suddenly I tripped over a loose and panel, stumbled forward like an idiot, fell straight into an open excavation pit. I looked around frantically and checked my pockets for my phone, but I couldn't feel it. No, I must have dropped it earlier. Hello, somebody, please help me. I'm stuck here. But there was only silence. Eventually, I gave up and slept down, feeling totally defeated. I must have cried myself to sleep, because when I opened my eyes again, all I looked up and I saw was total darkness. I had no idea how long I'd been stuck down here. It was so cold and I couldn't see a thing. Somebody please help. Notice the faint blue glow of the moonlight spilling over the edge. It wasn't much, but somehow it felt comforting. Then suddenly a girl's head slowly peered over the edge. Hey, could you help me out, please? I've been trapped down here for hours. And I trailed off when I noticed her cold crimson eyes glowing with an emotionless stare. I'm high. If you made it down, then the path upward exists as well. Whether you find it is up to you, right? Super inspiring. Seriously, but maybe instead of a life lesson, you could toss down a rope, a ladder, wind thread, or a snake skin. Will climb anything at this point. Hey, head suddenly disappeared. Come back. Wait, where are you going? I panicked. Her, please, at least toss down my phone. It up there somewhere, fell out of my pocket. But she didn't respond anymore. Unbelievable. Just my luck to meet a weird and mysterious girl. In the middle of the night, suddenly her head reappeared, and this time she was casually holding my phone. Are you referring to this? Yes, that's mine. Please, if you're not going to help, what sings me, just toss it down at least, and if you want it, then climb. Wait, what? I was at least 20 feet down. I can't, it's too high, and I have the strength of a baby. Strength begins when you choose to reach for unreachable. Okay, I'll try it first. I jumped weakly, but I felt so pathetic, so I hyped myself up and pushed harder, clawing my way up the dirt wall as if my life depended on it. Finally, with one last desperate lunge, I jumped higher than I ever thought possible, scaling the wall like Spider freaking Man, and pulled myself over the top. I did it. Wait, I actually did it somehow. This strange girl made me find strength I didn't even know I had. I stood up and finally faced mysterious savior, her silver white hair standing out in the dim light that was intense. Thanks for the motivation. What are you doing here at this hour, by the way? And what's your name? Then she turned to me, and my heart nearly stopped. Holy mother of hell, up close she didn't look real. She wasn't just beautiful, she was otherworldly. This is one of the many reasons wished to visit here. But oh well, I suppose I had no choice. You, what are you talking about? Where are from? But she just ignored me and drifted off like a beautiful lantern. Hey, wait, can you at least tell me your name? We turned a corner, and just like that she was gone. I searched all over. It was like she vanished into the school. But What if she was actually a ghost? The thought alone almost made me pee in my pants. I just kept thinking about her even in class the next morning, and Belle must thought so sorry. Just a fake friend have noticed it. $1 billion for your spaced out Belle had been my best. Since we were kids, we were next door. Neighbors, survived high school together. And now we were in the same university, taking the same course like it was, or something. Come on, buddy, spill it. What's got you daydreaming so hard? Well, yesterday I went back behind the school to look for my ID. And I met this mysterious girl. I was about to finish my story when the door suddenly burst open, and our professor finally arrived with a girl trailing behind my jaw, then dropped straight to the floor when I saw her familiar face. No freaking way it was her class. This is Skye, a transfer student. She will be joining us today, so please make her feel welcome. As expected, the other boys also lost their minds the second she walked in. They were practically drooling on their desks. Skye, do you have anything you'd like to say to the class before we start our lecture? I held my breath as she scanned the room like an emotionless queen. I have little to say to those I have yet to understand, but I'll observe and perhaps learn. Something worth remembering. We were all dumbfounded by what she said, believe it or not. But that's the girl I was just telling you about. I see she seems interesting. Well, that was quite a speech, Skye. Thank you. You may take any empty you like seat. Without a word, she walked straight down the aisle and sat right next to me. Hey, it's me from last night, you know, the guy in a hole. But she just stared straight ahead like I didn't even exist. And when the lecture finally started, she was completely locked in silence, still eyes focused on the presentation, like they were battle strategies or something. Seriously, who is this girl? And where did she even come from? Later that day, I dragged Belle to the announcement board to check out the newest fencing team updates. Just then, a calm, serious voice spoke behind me. How do I join this battle? I turned and nearly jumped out of my skin when I realized it was Skye Man. Her ethereal presence gave me goosebumps. Battle, you mean the tryouts? They're holding practice today. But you'll need to sign up first, fill out some forms, maybe get a tetanus shot, probably wrestle with Bella with a look that could end a few wivers. And where's the gym? She cut off in 46 different languages. Conversations. We then pointed wordlessly down the hall, and she immediately walked away like a warrior headed for her next conquest. We reached the gym. Wait, girl, you can't just barge in. And one of there's like a system. We followed her, and by the time practice had already started, Skye walked in like she belonged there. The senior members stepped forward. Can we help you? Who leads here? I guess that be me, captain of the team. She approached the rack and picked up one of the practice foils, turning it slowly in regulation. Practice foils, kind her hand. These weapons, they lack edge, but the balance is decent enough. Those are allow it. There was of the point, then it will suffice. You here to try out, or I simply wish to test the limits of your strongest fighters? If you moment of awkward silence before the captain spoke again. All right, mysterious transfer girl, let's see what you've got. What? The Skye then turned to the rest of the team like nothing had happened. Next to more stepped in, then 3 for 5. No, what in the world is happening? Started to feel she moved like water with a blade. Suddenly the whole gym colder, fluid, graceful but dangerous. She was tripping, dodging, disarming, absolutely destroying everyone in her path. and it was. Mesmerizing, every movement purposeful, every dodge. Calculated, she never raised her voice, never taunted, just moved Belle. And I just stood there frozen, totally speechless after beating the final fencer. With one clean move, well, that was quite insufficient. And just like that, the entire gym went silent. Since then, some people started getting scared of her, while others just fell harder. Meanwhile, Belle started getting extra suspicious about her. It's really weird. She just vaulted in and wrecked everyone like she was brushing lint off her shoulder. I mean, maybe she's just really good, she is, but there's something off about her vibe. She might be hiding something, and I'm going to find out what. Just because she looks like a Barbie doesn't mean she can't be that strong and skillful. She's literally so cool. You have a crush on her, don't you? What? No, I mean she's really, and whatever, it had been a beautiful while since she sulked like that, and you better stay away from her. Was cute from now on, okay? I think she's dangerous. I just nodded, but deep down I wasn't scared of Skye at all. I was hooked after that day. I started noticing her in every club and tournament, polo, martial arts, taekwondo, even logic and strategy games, anything competitive, anything that required skill. She joined and won every single time. But she never celebrated, never even smiled. It felt like watching a boss-level character trapped on beginner difficulty. Nothing here seemed to challenge her. One time during a swimming match, she moved through the water like it was part of her fluid, swift, unbothered. She was like a mermaid trained by the gods of war. No splash, no struggle. Just pure effortless power. Another time I saw her watching a freshman student from the martial arts club, a shy girl who always kept to herself and stood in the back without a word. Skye walked over, gently adjusted the girl's stance, then stepped back and nodded, blinked, startled. Then once the girl smiled like someone had finally seen her, Skye didn't say anything else. She just returned to her corner and resumed her. But that one gesture said own training everything. She wasn't just strong, she inspired strength in others. Who really are you, girl? One day Belle came up to me and slapped her notebook on the table. It's time to put on our detective hats. We subtly defined subtly. These follow her midnight stealth tint limited edition. Put them on. You're not serious. I've never been more serious in my life. And just like that, we became Skye's personal shadows. Day one, Skye walked into the abandoned art wing and never came out. We waited for 53 minutes and found no exits, just a clay sculpture of what I think was a horse, or maybe a giant oven. Day two, she went to an aquarium and underwater zoo and had a staring contest with the sea creatures for to freaking a full 5 hours, as if they were besties or enemies. Day three, we caught her standing under a flickering hallway light for minutes, unmoving. She was just staring into the corner. She's talking to the shadows. She's just probably checking that wall paint, or maybe she's possessed. Wait, what if she's a spy or a vampire? She's totally a vampire, Eli. This is serious. From 50 feet away. Just then we both screamed when Skye looked directly at us, even though we were clearly behind a potted fern. One night after watching a horror movie that Belle swore wasn't scary when it actually was, we stopped by the convenience store to grab some snacks. The store looked quiet, just us bored cashier. Just then two sketchy guys in knockoff tracksuits stepped up to the counter and turned to us. Well, you for look loaded. How about a deal? For there's only 3 of us here. and we turned and saw someone I didn't expect to be here. Skye, she was silently reading the back of an ice cream tub like it was ancient prophecy wheel. Take $1 billion or someone's getting folded, dude. We're literally just college students. Do we look like we own 108 yachts and private islands to you? Honestly, no, but I don't care. Just hand over everything you've got. He then shoved me straight into a shelf of ramen, and I almost passed out. Touch him again, and I swear I'll make you cry like a little boy who dropped his ice cream on a poop. But the jerk just laughed at Belle and grabbed her arm before I could even get up to stop him. The light started flickering, and the air suddenly got colder. Skye suddenly stepped in and grabbed the goon's wrist, twisted it with a crack, and yeeted him so hard he passed out into a snack shelf on impact. She then turned to Belle like nothing had happened. "Ah, you hurt?" I think I'm in love." She just nodded. Once we thought it was over, the other jerk turned and started walking out, but just as and taking you broke and stumbled outside and somehow got into a freaking bulldozer. "I'm taking down this whole store, useless college kids with it, Belle." And I panicked, but Skye just calmly stepped at the front of the freaking forward and grabbed bulldozer like it was what the Belle. "Did you see that butt chopping cut?" Then without a word she lifted it and yeeted the entire machine into a glowing thing that appeared out of thin air, gone just like that. Belle was already out cold on the floor, straight up, passed out from disbelief. I couldn't stop replaying it in my head later that night. Skye was literally out of this world, like she lifted a bulldozer. Who does that? But what bothered me more was me. I couldn't even stay on my feet long enough to protect, and my stomach. I did was Belle. The next day I saw this tiny when I wandered to the back, scratch on her forehead, perfectly still, half in shadow, flipped. I was such a loser. All stand there and breathe dramatically. It was sunset of the school to get some air, and I was the earth. "Hey, you saved us." Surprised to see Skye just standing there like she was about to disappear through the Kraken. "So I finally gave last night. You were like a superhero. Seriously, why are you even that strong?" I just wanted to say thanks. Belle could have seriously gotten hurt, and I couldn't even help her. I panicked, and you showed up like a force of nature, coming like a hurricane. Apparently she had no plans to speak up anyway, and sorry for being totally weak and useless. And that was when she finally looked at me. "You carried too much shame for someone who stood up." That is more than most would do, but it wasn't enough. Strength isn't always loud or immediate. Sometimes it begins when you decide to stop running. I didn't know what to say. Her words just echoed in my head. "If you still wish to change, then follow me." I just found myself following her like a clueless puppy as she led me behind the trees until we stopped at a tall brick wall. Then, with a flick of her wrist, she summoned this glowing thing again. A strange shimmering light pulsed in the air like it was alive. I must be dreaming right now. What's happening? What is that? She then stepped through it like it was nothing, and without thinking followed. Suddenly I was standing in a massive dimly lit space. Blades lined with the walls, swords, spears, weapons I couldn't even name. "Let's begin." What are you going to train me or something? But why I was only ever meant to speak with my equals. How I ended up in this situation is beyond me. Perhaps I simply missed the feeling of training a disciple again, I suppose. I'll have to swing my sword 3,000,000 times as. Penance, it was the first time I heard her say more than 2 sentences, and my brain was about to explode with questions. So about all this, and everything you just dropped on me, can you explain? Because none of this looks normal like at all. Let's keep this simple, no questions, just training. If that's acceptable to you, will begin from that moment. On my life did a total 180 in. Between and after classes, we kick things off with the basics. She started teaching me combat skills. How to hold a weapon, how to move, how not to slice my own foot. And I kept failing all of that. But off strict and silent, despite being cold master, was patient with me. Soon we moved on to one-on-one fights. She fought me with one hand and still destroyed me every single time, like she was swatting away a fly. Softly as the portal buzzed. One time I arrived a little earlier than usual, stepped through. But something was different. Skye was already there. She was waiting. She was training alone, focused and unshaken. With a sword in hand, she moved through a relentless series: drills, strike, spin, carry, recover, over and over. Not a single break. Only 2,972,000 left. I froze. She wasn't counting victories, she was counting some kind of punishment. I stood there hidden in the shadows, and for the first time, and that made her unstoppable, realized she wasn't just strong. She was all she relentless. When I tried to ask her about it, was give me a cold stare and continued training me. As the days went, she caught me sneaking by Belle, got more and more suspicious but I kept my frequent disappearances, throwing out excuses until one day back to class looking like a total mess. Okay, you've been disappearing, coming back looking like you lost a duel with a garbage disposal truck. I was jogging. Try again. Belle, spill a secret society. I saw you with Skye. You're doing something sus with her. Aren't you? You were following me. Are you kidding? I've got notes, charts, a full Skye timeline. Okay, fine. I'm training with her to training for what is this, like fencing, demon hunting, initiation. To become stronger. Eli, I know you. You're soft, you're gentle, you cry during dog food commercials. But I'm tired of being weak, of always being the one who needs saving. I couldn't protect you at the store. I saw that scratch on your forehead. And Belle, I hated it. I hated myself. I'm done feeling like a loser. Yeah, but she's weird. She's powerful and quiet, and we don't know anything about her. I did a background check. Nothing came up. No school records, no socials. It's like she didn't exist. Until the day she showed up. What if she's from another world or a different dimension? What if she's dangerous? I didn't even know what to say because I myself was wondering too. Because Skye never answered my questions. I just miss my best friend. You know, I'm still here, but I need to do this for you, for me. Belle didn't smile, but she nodded. Okay, fine, just don't get possessed or anything. No promises. A few more days of training, past bruises, sore legs, and Skye silently judging my every move. But somehow I got better. Then came the next fencing tryouts. I stood at the edge of the gym floor, foil in hand, heart pounding. The whistle blew, and I finally moved. No tripping, no freezing, just focus, speed, and everything. Skye drilled into me. By the final strike, the scoreboard lit up with my name at the top. I actually passed this time. Finally, the seniors clapped me on the back. Who trained you, man? A ghost, maybe a goddess, still not sure. I left the gym feeling like a superhero, with only one thought in mind: I needed to Tell Skye so. I ran straight to the about this, but when I stepped through she portal, wasn't there the room was empty. I looked for her everywhere, but there were no. Just as I was about to sleep, I traces of her. She hadn't shown up in days, and it was driving me crazy. Then one night suddenly felt that familiar chill in the air. I found myself walking to my balcony, as if something is calling me. Master, where have you been? I need to go. There are matters I must attend to. What kind of matter? There is no point in explaining what you cannot yet understand. Okay, fine. But before you go, can you at least tell me something about yourself? Or at least, where are you from? To live in itself is a blessing, but once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses. You have no need to fret. These are just my thoughts. Soon you'll know and understand everything, but how you'll see. She raised, no one knew where her hand, summoning another portal, and without a word she stepped through it, and now she was gone. I suddenly felt so empty, like something had been pulled out and taken with her. She went, not the school, not the staff, not even Belle and her resources, until one afternoon she barged into my room like a hurricane. Eli, you need to see this, like right now. What is it? Genshin Impact's newest playable character. What about it? I hadn't opened the game in almost a year, so I wasn't updated. She shoved her phone into my hands, and the moment I saw the screen, I swear my soul left my body. White silver hair, crimson eyes, massive sword on her back, same cold stare, same grace, same everything. What kind of sorcery is this? And then suddenly it all made sense. Skye, so that was your real name. Brace yourself, Skirk, because I'm going to log back in and unlock every answer you never.
If you like the video and want to see more videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon.